Good morning. I've done a no-no. My bad. I went to bed last night with my makeup on. Because I had something in mind. I wanted to show you this morning how to remove your makeup. Now, for teaching purposes or learning purposes, I am going to show you how I wash my face with this microfiber pad. I use only water, no soap or cleanser of any kind. I've been doing this for more than a year, and you rub the makeup off. And I'm going to show you in the sink, yucky, but you've got to see this, that when you squeeze it out, you will see that the makeup is coming off and comes right out with the water. It's hard to believe that the makeup comes off with just water. Whatever's in these pads, they call them microfibers, it does get them off. When I was in the bathroom showing you how these work and showing you how they definitely do take the makeup off your face, you have problems trying to film with one hand with the camera and do something with the other hand. So what I'm going to do is just show you right here, pretending, or we should say faking, how I take this pad. Now, all I do is I wet it first. Now, I have cleaned the makeup off this, so it's clean again. I don't have makeup on. I take the pad and I run a combination of hot and cold water on it, squeeze it out a little, and then I start up here and I start rubbing my face vigorously with this pad. I get down the sides where your makeup would get up in here. I go all over here, down. I do under the neck. I do my chest area. I do the eyes very well. And that's that. Noticed that using that tubing mascara, which is this one, the Naany tubing mascara, normally when you use regular mascara and you take a Kleenex and start trying to get that makeup off, you get big clumps of black mascara. Not with this tubing mascara. It's amazing. It is light, and you probably notice it's a lighter look on my eyes too when I do make it up. But anyway, it still comes off. It comes off beautifully. It's not like a waterproof mascara. And I clean the eyes. That's how I use these. But they also exfoliate. And that I love too, because especially me, I need to shed my skin all the time. They are reusable, washable. You can get several different manufacturers worth. I prefer the gray ones. They're larger, and you get 6 in a bag. They come in this nice net bag, and you can wash them out right there with soap and water in the sink and get them clean and reuse them. Or the next day, or you can throw them in the washing machine in these bags and wash them. So after you totally cleanse your face, you lightly dry it. I like to leave it slightly damp before I put my Nivea on. Wait a minute. There we go. No. So you would do that before you put your toner. I never use toners because I found out years ago they would dry my face. But I will do Nivea in the morning, or I will do my bio oil gel, which is in the bathroom, or sometimes a castor oil. But before I do any makeup, if I'm putting makeup on that day, I do have to put some oil, maybe the snail mucin or some kind of an oil, because makeup will not glide on my face without some sort of an oil or a very greasy cream. Love my Nivea. So let me show you what I do next. And this morning I will do Nivea. All right. I dot it on my face. As you can see, it's quite a bit. And also the neck, always the neck. And if I had something lower, I would do my chest right now too. Obviously, you cannot very, very carefully work the Nivea into your skin by lightly tapping like you would do some serums or some oils. What you have to do, and it's for the benefit of your skin, is you have to rub it in. So down here, I use the palms of my hands, and as you know, there's 43 muscles in your face, and you must exercise them just the same way you exercise the rest of your body. So I do my facial yoga, you might want to call it. Rub, rub, rub-a-dub-dub. Quite strong. Getting that skin alive, getting the blood to pop up. I know you think this might be something contrary to what you have heard about treating your face lightly. Now rub those 11s in too, by the way. And I do rub into the eyes. Now I get this off later, otherwise the creams and oils do mess up my mascara. But I think I'm learning how to do that. Under the eyes, a little bit more carefully under the eyes. But rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. Now at this point, see, it takes a while for this to sink in too, by the way, ladies, as you can see, even with the rubbing. Now, to do your lymphatic drains while you're massaging your face, you use your knuckles. I'm having trouble with my arthritic finger here. And you work it out toward the drains, which are right here by your ears. These are drains. Now, there's lymphatic drains all over, some up here, but these are the ones I go for, especially when I do the drain here. Now, I like to work on the nasal drains because if you wake up with a puffy face, honestly, this will drain those nasal tubes out. And you will notice probably in half an hour or an hour, you will be blowing your nose or your nose will start running, which is something that happens to me. But it tends to get rid of that morning puffiness. And of course, when you do the neck, it's always up. I love my Nivea. I've used Nivea since I was in my 30s, and it's my go-to. Never gotten into any expensive creams. This has worked so well for me. I know my skin. It's very, very, very dry, and I've had it evidently since I was a baby because my mom used to bathe me in cod liver oil. Can you believe it? Okay, I think we've done a good job of this. Now, as you can see, my face is red. The blood is coming into my face. I do have some excess. With my fingernails, I try and get some of this out on the eyebrows. But this will all soak in as you go through your morning routine, have a cup of coffee, have whatever you like for breakfast. And since we're retired, we have all the time in the world, don't we? So that's my routine, ladies. Makes me feel alive and keeps my skin, at least from here up, in great condition. And it doesn't feel dry at all. I feel very alive and moistened. Now, the rest of the body is another story, and that takes a lot of work. And we'll talk about that another day. So now it's time to take my pills. Do you have one of these, ladies? I have a variety of pills that I take in the morning, all sorts of things, including vitamins, fish oil, a vitamin C, sometimes a D3. It all depends on what I want to do that week, but always my regular meds that keep me going with my diabetes, blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera. So I've already made my coffee, That's one of the first things I do in the morning after I get up and make my, well, last night it was my only trip to the bathroom. I did go to sleep around midnight and had a wonderful sleep till around 6:30 this morning. And I always keep my water, as you know, next to my bed and constantly drinking water, only because, as you know, I've had my UTI problems, and I'm not a good water drinker. I've got to up my water drinking a little bit. But in my coffee every single morning, and I've shown you this, I put 2 scoops of collagen powder, and I've been doing this for well over a year. And I do think that at almost 87, this has kept my system hanging in there. And I don't know what else to say. Yes, I have all sorts of arthritic aches and pains here and there, but thank God, generally, I have the energy to be a caretaker to my Moosey, to get out, around, drive. I can drive to San Diego, wherever. I'm a great driver. I'm alert, and my mind is so curious. Collagen keeps all those cells in your body that regenerate. Actually, you start to lose the cells in your late 20s. They start to break down in your late 20s. And science has shown within the past several years that collagen powder taken internally can renew these cells in your body. And that's all that stuff that's in there works to keep you living longer. I originally started off with Vital Protein Peptide Collagen in the big blue jar. And I loved that until a month or so ago, Colleen told me what she started taking instead because it was a little less expensive. And I think it was called, the company is Micro Ingredients. So I did send for that. I did save a couple of bucks, but someone told me that actually Vital Signs seems to have more of the essential things in it that you want. Now, there are different kinds of collagen powder. I think I'm going to go back to my Vital protein powder because I think in the end I might be getting more of all the nutrients that I need. So it's also evidently mostly ranked in most studies that they do within the top 5 collagen powders. So this is not the video where we're going to be doing our pumpkin craft. I still haven't heard from Dub as to whether she wants to do this together with me over in her office. I don't know whether she's afraid we'll mess up some of those conference tables, but we can always put newspaper down or something. I think that might be fun. But if she wants to go out thrifting, I'm game for that too. You know, I think I told you that Brendan and Shannon, the glasses, well, I'm sure it's Nivea, with all the greasy creams that my skin adores, my glasses suffer because they take on the creams too. Maybe it makes them last longer too, who knows. I think you know that Brendan and Shannon, Colleen's 2 great kids, have been helping me around the house with our housework. And even Moosey too. Brendan's been helping Moosey with some of the weeds and the gardens and all that. These kids have been wonderful. I don't know what I'm going to do when the summer's up. They come in and they do my vacuuming, get cobwebs, and Brendan was doing windows the other day on the outside. I think now we have to start moving some furniture and do some windows on the inside. But mop the kitchen floor, help me change my sheets. They've been wonderful. By the way, here's the tube of Kerosol that I'm treating my finger with. Within the last couple of days that I've been doing this, I don't want to show you my nails, they're so bad. But if you can see this nail, it's just basically white on the top now. I don't know, and I don't think I pinched it or hurt it or anything. If you see me looking out there, that's a great big window right next to this table. And I can see my Moosey in the garden. I can see the garden. I can see Shamu out with Moosey. And I can see down the driveway if Colleen or Micah or any of the kids come. So that's why I'm always looking there. One thing I'm anxious to start with, but I'm not going to do it yet. I know it's jumping the gun. I always do that. I think I jumped the gun on Valentine's Day too. But, you know, at this age, you want to get going with things. You want them to happen. You want to be around while they're there. I'm going to take out my blue and white dishes. I have blue and white everywhere in my house. I have collections of blue and white china and ginger jars. And as you can see, my painted tiles that I did myself during my ceramics phase, had them fired, and then I cemented them on the fireplace. So my blue and white china does look really cute with that. And we do have a blue and white French toile fabric that I made curtains for the rest of the living room. We don't have giant windows, but with the lace and the French toile fabric, it's quite a blue and white vibe here in the living room. I mentioned to you that the rest of my body is just in great need of care and creams. It's very, very dry and very flaky. And I do what I can to exfoliate my legs and my arms. And I do have a lot of the spots on my arms, probably from the sun, old age, whatever you want to call it. But I have discovered something that is a great exfoliator. Now, I don't use this on my face. I started off with something called 12% ammonium something or other. And that worked okay on my legs and arms. But then I discovered that, especially in the wintertime, my legs would get very scaly and I really needed to work on them. And my feet, of course, too. And I do have a special tool for my feet. And I think I've showed that to you. But now I'm into 40% urea cream. Now, it's a very strong thing, and I have two different manufacturers of these. I'm trying this one out. I've used it several times on my legs, and you have to keep it away from open sores or anything else. But when you put it on and you wait a while, a couple hours, if you rubbed your hand on that, it does sink in eventually. You rub your hand on that, you will notice that you can almost exfoliate your skin, if it's like mine is anyway, just by rubbing your hand. But then I use a brush, and I tell you, this is working for my skin and for me, and I never had what you might call baby soft skin on my body. It's helping. I've been researching what women over 60 really want to hear and see on YouTube. And it's such a varied concept. It's so subjective. Many women love the cooking videos. Many women love the family. There are certain women that love the gardening. And then there are those who love the makeup and the skincare and the hair products. And it's so funny because W had a friend who constantly is watching us, because I know Julie. Julie loves the gardening and the cooking and family because she knows the whole family. W went to high school with Julie and has been friends with her ever since. But Julie says, well, there's a little bit just too much makeup stuff on for her lately, so she skips some. So I would love to hear from some of you as to what you particularly want to hear, because, you know, my YouTube channel had a slump over the summer, losing subscribers and counts going down in all the analytics, and I want to start bringing it back up again. So let's do a Q&A where you tell me what you want to see, what you loved within my videos, and I will try and zero in, or maybe give you all a little bit of something, as I've always been doing. I also forgot to mention the fashion videos, the crafting and painting, the vlogging, and the thrifting. People love the thrifting and the shopping. Do you like the car videos? Do you just want me to just chat and forget about all the B-rolls? So I'm asking you, give me your input. I know a lot of you are so sweet and say, oh, anything you do, Nanny, we like to watch. My concept of YouTube and what we do is trying to inspire women of my age and younger, because there's not too many that are older than I am, and to bring you something that fulfills you or teaches you something. You have to remember, I am a teacher, and that is in my my blood, I think. So let me know. It's not really a Q&A, but I certainly would appreciate your feedback. Thank you. You know, very rarely do I experience a problem with Amazon.com, and I have used Amazon a lot lately, especially with some of the heavier products and concerning my newly indoor Shamu cat, who for 13 years was an outdoor cat and got claustrophobia when he came inside. But once we had those coyotes popping across the top of the cottage and going down the hill, and perhaps an incident one time when Shamu went missing for 3 or 4 days and then came back kind of banged up, she might have had an incident with a coyote. So now she's sort of an indoor cat, but goes out, thank heavens, in the daytime. So I've started to, for the first time in my life, deal with cat litter and a cat pan. We live in a very small cottage, and feeding inside, at least that does keep the raccoons and some of the other animals that drop by occasionally too. So feeding inside does help. But getting back to my problem with Amazon, so I do order the big bags of dry food and the very heavy cat litter. And also I do, on occasions, feed Shamu a little split. Now, I just ordered yesterday, and it does come very quickly. I love Amazon for that, and it does save me bringing these heavy things home. I ordered 2 boxes of these and paid for 2 boxes, and only 1 came this morning. Now, Amazon has been wonderful about that. We have had mail thefts where packages have been taken, and all you have to do is call Amazon, and they either reorder it and send it to you, or they give you your money back. So I do have to do that today because it was a substantial order in a couple of weeks. Well, I'm about ready to finish the rest of my couple of hours of me time and probably stay in the rest of the day. My tomatoes haven't shown anything out there yet, that little experiment, by the way. So I hope I've given you some hints for the days. A lot of you wanted to know my morning routine, and that's basically it. We're not getting into the makeup today. I don't think I'll wear anything today. I'm not going anywhere, and so I'm staying here. And it's too hot a day to do any slugging with Vaseline. I would probably do that at night, another time. So thanks so much for your binging, for your watching. I appreciate you all. And don't forget to tell me in your comments what you love the most and how I should continue doing things for you on this YouTube channel. Bye for now, and God bless us all.